Alright, well hello everybody, it's Bob, N1KPR, and here we are with another kind of wild receiver. This is a kind of an outgrowth or an evolution of some requests from broadcasters around the East Coast. This particular one to one's a corporation, one's a independent down south, and the idea was to provide a confidence monitor, off-air receiver, that kind of thing that they could either keep in the studio, in the van, go out and do field work, field measurements, do quality off-air checks, and whatever else they do. There is a trend now for a lot of use of idiot lights, and we'll get into that in a second. Only because the various engineers I've talked to have requested that we provide something that's visual through the window into the control room. They don't have to actually go in and start reading all the instruments, whatever they have plugged into these things, scopes and and so forth. And let me just we'll go into some of these menus. For instance, oh, by the way, we're using Inovonics Broadcast Mini modules. AM, there you go, FM, and National Weather Service. So here you can see the guy could come in and he could look at his RF levels. I'm doing this with the wrong hand. Signal to noise measurements, audio levels to the into the system, and so on. But anyhow, let's get into this because I'd like to keep it shorter than the last one. Here is the unit. It's quite a bit of hand wiring. And again, here's the modules, the AM, FM, and weather. Inovonics has got some really nice stuff. We were using TFT equipment, but they went out of business about 1.5 years ago. So we found these guys, and we're very, very happy with them. All right, quickly, maybe some light would help. I don't know here. Maybe not. You can see we have dual power supplies. There's 2 transformers here and back here. The reason being that we have a lot of control circuitry along the back here. This is all audio and carrier sensing, audio sensing circuitry, audio measuring, carrier and signal measuring circuitry. So we wanted to keep all that on a separate power supply, and then run the 3 modules with their own supply. The supplies are being fed to a dual 12-volt supply, very highly regulated. I measured about 2 or 3 millivolts of noise on the 12-volt supply. That's pretty quiet. And of course we have some input line filtering, get the little spikes and junk off of the AC line. Alright, let's just go down here. A lot of these modules are duplicates for the purpose they serve, but we'll go through them really quickly. We're providing an antenna shunt to protect everything, or just to do a quick shutdown so you don't hear what's going on, but it's an antenna shunt to ground in an true RF gain control. This is what the engineer is going to be looking at. We have a carrier indicator with pass and fault. When the carrier gets down into the noise, we'll measure the hash, and this will turn red. I could simulate that with just shutting the antenna down. We've also got audio. If there's a carrier but no modulation, this middle red light will come on. And then finally we've added a modulation control, the green light being anything above about 110% modulation, and the red light below 50%. I may increase the time integration on the off cycle there, because between sentences, it's from an announcer, for example, it'll go red. So I may want to move that out to about 2 seconds or something. DMOD data is actually from the detector, and it's telling us that the green light, that we have information on the carrier, and the red light is there's a carrier there, but no data on it. Audio in and out, we could just kill it if you're going to be doing some queue-up work or DAC. You know, you might be doing some recording out in the field to bring back to the studio, or proof of play for advertisers, that kind of thing. Internal, external monitor is the speaker. There's a built-in speaker right there, and an external if you want real good audio. Audio send and standby, so that we can plug the outputs of the 3 units directly into the recorder, or if you're doing rebroadcasting, the transmitting audio board, whatever. Power switch. This is monitor level in watts, and I don't think we're focusing so good here. I don't know why. And line level, 0 dB straight up is 0.77 volts on a 600 ohm line. That's a standard studio feed line, so you know exactly where you're at. It's actually instrument quality, because 0 dB is 0 dB, no question about it. And of course the display that Inovonics broadcast supplies. Alright, over on the FM side, it's the same thing, except there's a few little differences. We still have the carrier there, and lost audio there, or lost. The third set is digital. Is that station broadcasting IBOC or HD FM? If it's broadcasting hybrid digital, you get a green light. And the Inovonics thing you can set up in the menu, so you could actually run split. And here we are over here, split left and right, data and space. So you can actually monitor your station's digital and analog signal at the same time. This is very important for synchronization, particularly in connected car type applications, where people are driving around listening to FM. They're listening to digital and they don't know it. And when there's a dropout, the radio switches over automatically to analog, and they still don't know it. So it's important to know that they're both in sync, so that you don't get into an echo effect. And that's been pretty well established over the years. At first it was a problem, but these days that's pretty easy to deal with the equipment available. So latency should be a thing of the past, but it's always good to know. And again, of course, you could do proof of broadcast recordings from this unit. Same controls: RF gain, left line, right line, as you're monitoring power to the thing. Send control switch, so that you can send it out to the recorder. Alright, finally, National Weather Service. Same thing, but one minor difference. We still have the carrier. Let me put the antenna on there. It's not on. There we go. You see, I have a switch in the back where I can share, right here. We can share the VHF input for the FM radio or the weather radio, or you could run them independently depending on where you set the switch. So that's that. Oh, by the way, while I'm back here, filtering on the input, we have DC protection on the input for static pickup on your outside antenna. If you're at the studio and there's a big rooftop antenna, it's kind of hard to see, but it's down here on this board. We have a DC bleed resistor, and we're going to add some MOVs or some kind of diode protection too. So these units are far too expensive to be blowing them out with static electricity. And I'm sure the excuse me, the front ends are kind of sensitive. And there you have it on the weather thing. Same thing, carrier, audio, but also we have a tone light. The tone light will be green, meaning go, everything's okay. That's what the studio wants to see. You want to see a lot of green. If the red tone light comes on, that means that you have received a tone alert or a weather warning from the National Weather Service. That will flash, this red light on the right, and it will throw a relay back here to trigger your external alarm. It'll do switch over in the studio, any number of things. And in line with that, all three units do have external alarm output. So anything you want to monitor, if you want to sit in the studio and say, hey, we lost the carrier because the carrier light's on here in the AM station, or the FM guy says, I got a red light on the audio, the carrier's okay, I got no audio. Maybe you lost feed to the transmitter and don't even know it yet. Again, as with all the equipment we build and a lot of this stuff in the field that's available now, red, bad, bad, bad. Green or dancing red and green means you have activity and the thing is running. I don't know if I'm going to build another prototype of this and sell the other one, or just sell this one, or what, but I like this radio very much. Again, Innovonics Broadcast has some great stuff, and this hand wiring without a lot of pre-designed interconnects can be kind of labor intensive. There is also, we have a mix bus out, so that if you want, you can feed from here a single line out from all three modules. This is the speaker out, the green one. Here are the three line outs for the three radios. In this area, we're going to put some jacks in that will give us an open collector ground switching for every one of these fault indicators. So there'll be 9 of those, and they could use them or not use them, but the important thing is the National Weather Service alert. If they issue an alert, by law your station has to comply. And the interesting thing is, it doesn't have to be this module. Any one of these modules that receives an alert can go into our alert forwarding system that we have on another YouTube video here and at my website. And so any one of these could trigger the station to go into NOAA, NWS mode, and explain what's going on. Hopefully nothing bad like we've had recently around here. Okay, that's pretty much it. It's Bob N1KPR. My website is N1KPR is call sign. I'm sorry. Website is bobsamerica.com. I'm a little preoccupied because I wanted to hear this. I wanted to hear this broadcast.
Everything you do is amazing.
You can see, you get some idea of synchronizing the lights with the actual signal coming in here.
Elections with Obama, because he won the popular vote 2 times in a row.
Well, they're talking politics again.
Issue is done.
All right, let's just, before we go, let's just do a quick, I'll pull the RF gain down, see what happens to the lights here. Right, there we go. If you hear the noise, I don't know if you hear the noise coming in from the low signal.
Right, exactly. And
right about there on the control. And you can see that there is something over 110% modulation here. And then the spaces. And of course the action of the detector, the audio level in the carrier. That's it. And it's the same for the other 3. All right, going to run. I wanted to keep this short, and I did. And thanks again for looking. It's Bob, N1KPR. Have a good day.